It's a delight and privilege to catch up with Ms. Lakshmi Shinde, CEO of the Optometry Council of India today. Now, Lakshmi, you've been a passionate advocate for optometry in India for quite a bit of time.
Thank you.
But recently, you started focusing quite a bit in the whole arena of regulation of optometry, especially in India. And could you maybe highlight a little bit to the audience on why you think that's so important for Indian optometry at this stage?
Well, being in the healthcare profession as optometrist, I think it's our duty to inform the public, the general public, as to how qualified a person is and what the skill levels of the person are, so that the public goes to the correct people to get their eyes examined. So that was the main reason why I thought regulation of optometry is important, especially in India, which is such a vast country. And when you look at educational levels of optometry also, since there were varying levels in India, we thought that regulation is a good way of bringing in some kind of standardization, and by that way informing the general public as to who's the good person to go to and have their eyes examined as well.
And the Optometry Council of India is the regulatory body that you're heading at this stage. Could you maybe brief a little bit on what it is and how it's approaching with what it needs to do?
Sure. If you look at many of the developed countries where optometry profession is well regulated, it's done through governmental bodies. The Optometry Council of India, since we've just started recently, is a self-regulatory body. Self-regulatory in the sense the profession is trying to regulate itself by setting in certain policies. And this is a company, not-for-profit company registered, and it's been brought about by two major organizations coming together in the profession. One is the Indian Optometry Federation and Association of Schools and Colleges of Optometry.
So they're the shareholders of this company?
Yes, that's right. But it's not-for-profit company, and it's a self-regulatory body. And over time, hopefully, when we really make a mark, we are assuming that the government would take over and regulate the profession as well.
Right. At this stage, does the Optometry Council of India deal just with individuals or also with individuals and schools?
Both. Of course, we have not started to accredit all the optometry schools as of now. At present, we are doing only registrations of individuals, but we plan to start the accreditation of schools also pretty soon.
And where do you see the whole profession in India, say by 2030, in about 15 years' time? Where do you see it in terms of how optometry is as a profession nationally?
Well, I think going forward, the very important thing would be, one is to standardize the quality of optometrists that are getting graduated. Secondly, the skills that are offered through individual optometrists in practices, to try and make them into a uniform service delivery model, both in the private and in the public sector, so that an optometrist can basically mingle not only in the eye care but in the entire healthcare system as well. So that is where we are heading towards. So mostly to do with standardization of the service that's delivered and of the quality of education throughout India, and understanding of the public as to who an optometrist is. So that is, I think, lacking a lot as far as India is concerned. And through this, I think the awareness of optometry as a profession that the public can also pursue as a career, and looking at it as something to be proud of in the future is what I think would be something we could achieve.
And one final question. I do understand, based on India's current population, India needs about 120,000 trained optometrists. Currently, how many optometrists are there, and how many have already registered? I understand your Optometry Council of India was registered as a company maybe about 12 months back, or pretty recently, but you made giant strides. So in terms of the whole number, how many are there? How many are already registered?
There is no absolute data that is present, exact data or statistics, I would say, but from the surveys that we have conducted, we think that there are around 40 to 40,000 optometrists.
40 to 44?
42.
42.
And this is putting the public sector, private sector, the diplomas, the degree holders, and all of them together. So the entire gamut is around 40 to 42,000 of them. And sorry for the second part.
And in terms of how many have already registered, because in a short span, I understand more than 500 have registered.
Yeah, that's right. We've started registering it from the end of January 2014. Around 26th of January is when we started. And till date, we have around 512 optometrists who are registered with the Optometry Council of India.
And if somebody in the audience wants to know more about Optometry Council of India, where can they find it?
We have our own website, which is www.optometrycouncilofindia.org, and they can also write to us at info@optometrycouncilofindia.org. So all the information regarding registrations and who we are and what's the process of registrations, it's all there on our website.
Thanks so much, Lakshmi, for taking the time.
Thank you.